Hello, you wonderful people, and welcome to another episode of Crime Centric. This being a show where I talk about crime dramas I watch. For today's episode, I'm going to talk about the latest episode of Ray Donovan. So starting off things, I was wondering, since there was no episode last week, but the week before last, I was wondering what the whole Marisol situation was going to turn out to be like, why he decided to help Hector. I was like, okay, so is he going to try and get money out of Hector? And it's like, no, it's like, nope, he's telling Hector to throw the fight because he's about to say, oh, I'm going to bet all the money, my share of the money from what Mickey stole from that dude, because the other half went to Bunchy and Teresa, but, I don't really know if they actually kept it or not, or did they give it all back to Mickey or what? Didn't the last episode they were packing it up too? So I'm guessing I can't remember that well, but basically Ray plans to bet that $2 million on Hector losing and to pay off his debt to Dimitri, which Hector isn't all for. He's like, hey, so this is why you helped me out. It's like, yeah, Ray's willing to screw over whoever he needs to if it means protect his family. I knew he had an ulterior motive to helping Hector, because if he really cared about helping Hector, he wouldn't have walked out in the first place. He was like, you know what, Hector, I'm sorry, bye. The only reason why he came back was because it was some shape or form going to help him with the whole Dimitri situation. Like I said, I thought it was going to be get money from Hector, but that wouldn't be enough. So, because even $2 million is not enough, because he even said himself it's more than you could ever have, Mr. Donovan. So, and then on top of that, it's okay, got this idea, and it's okay, Hector's going to take the fall. Because every step throughout the episode, I'm like, God, something's going to go wrong. Everything's just going to fall apart. Something's not going to go right. I just know it. Because, Hector being prideful as he is, I can just think in the back of my mind, it's oh, God, he's not going to go through it. Granted, Ray kind of puts him in a tough spot. He's like, if you don't do it, I'm going to confess and be like, okay, you killed your sister. He's like, Hector's like, you'll go down with me too. He's like, yeah, you'll get life. I'll get 5 years. So it's I'm willing to take that gamble. Are you? But even just that, it's okay, he goes to pick up Mickey, who went to get the money. And because you did see Mickey kind of look off, kind of see a flight was leaving from Boston, because he wanted to take the money and kind of just get a new house for everybody, the entire family, so they can be together and get away from all this craziness. Ray informed him about the whole situation. He's like, okay, I got your back on this. And there was a part of my brain that's please don't tell me you're just going to up and leave. But it's no, but it wasn't really him thinking about, oh, I can leave right now. It's him that's what could have been type of situation. It's that was the goal, that was the plan, that was the whole point of getting the money, so him and his gal could go off and start a new life over in Boston. But then the moment Mickey comes out, it's oh, lo and behold, who is it? Frank shows up again, and he's arresting Ray, and it turns out what's the guy's name? Is it Jacob or something? They said it, and I was terrible with names. And essentially, Nolan from Revenge. Basically, before he died, before Dimitri got a hold of him, he ratted Ray out about the whole Belikov situation, because Frank had previously, earlier in the season, come to Ray about, oh yeah, the whole Belikov situation. I know the situation you're in. Let me help you out. He's basically doing the same thing now because he got the security tape. He's yep, that's you. I'm not going to ask you questions about the body, the body of the poor girl that got killed by Dimitri. And he's I don't care about that piece of crap Dimitri. Piece of crap Belikov. All I care about is Dimitri. And Ray's I'm not going to do it. And it's Frank's I'm giving you a chance. You become my CI. You help me take down Dimitri. I can get your family into witness protection. Now, I won't lie to you. In the back of my mind, I was thinking there's a part of my brain that was a pessimist and being what if this whole thing is a setup? What if Frank actually works with Dimitri? He's under Dimitri's payroll now. That just happened. And the fact is, he's just trying to screw Ray over, be oh, Ray would turn on you if he had the chance. Just, so Dimitri could actually test Ray's loyalty in some shape or form. That's what I was kind of thinking. But stuff later on in the episode kind of disproves that, which I'll get to that soon enough. But Ray's you know what? I'm not going to do it. Just let me get out of here. And then it's okay, Mickey's got the money. He's on the plane. He's about to go make the bet. And it's oh, lo and behold, again, Fat Ernie is dead. Elvis style, dead on the toilet. At first, when he showed up in their police, I was don't tell me Fat Ernie got killed by somebody. What? And it's nope, he just died on the toilet. I was God, just it's like when everything can go wrong, it does. It's like I already knew things were going to be screwed over from the beginning, but it's like now this. I really like that. So I know I'm kind of skipping over it. I mean, but it plays a part in this. He met that stripper on the plane named Sugar, which is it was really sad when you see him looking at her for the first time. 'Cause, you know, the image of his girl appears on her, and it just kind of like, oh, it kind of his heart's breaking a little bit. And he's saying, even when he was talking to her and everything, he's like, you know, when I first saw you, you kind of remind me of someone. She's like, who? And you can see him kind of choking back the tears a little bit. Somebody beautiful, and that's just like, poor Mickey, because it's been a long time since he was in love. The last person he was in love with was Daryl's mom, so Claudette. So that was kind of the last time he was in love. So it's kind of sad things didn't work out for him. I really was rooting for him. Like, you know, he's going to get the money, he was going to get the girl, he's going to get the new fresh start. But sadly, it doesn't work like that. But nevertheless, him and Sugar kind of hit it off. So to me, I looked at it, I was like, oh, this is kind of new budding love. I mean, granted, we don't see her from the rest of that. Like, you know, when he gets back to LA, so I don't know if like they're still going to keep in touch. Is that going to become something or not? I feel like it is, but she basically set Mickey up with some dude named Jackie, who's basically, in my opinion, kind of what I feel like most people, when they think millennial, I feel like they look at Jackie and it's like, I don't know, he seems like such a tool to me. I don't know, not trying to be disrespectful, but he just seems like such a tool. Just the way he just acted and everything, and just being like, I mean, I get from a shady perspective of business on why he wouldn't want to take Mickey's bet, because it's like doing that would mean drawing too much attention to himself, because it's such a fight to be like, oh yeah, like the fight is in Hector's favor, like heavily in Hector's favor. And for someone to be putting up like a $2 million bet against him, it's like there's some shady stuff going there, because especially when the bet plays out, I think the total is going to be like 16 million if it plays out that way. Like I said, that's still an if. We still haven't even gotten to the fight. I don't know, because you never know, Hector could get cold feet. I think he slightly understands what's going on. That basically, to a certain degree, like, because Ray was like, yo, like, tell this guy that you're going to throw the fight. Hey, if you get cold feet, he's going to end up killing me and you, because, you know, Dimitri wanted to meet Hector, to kind of solidify. It's like, okay, it's okay for me to, like, make sure to get the word from him, like, you're not going to back out. He's like, yeah, I'm going to lose. He's like, okay, good, because I want to make sure I'm not wasting my time with this. I mean, granted, in his case, it's not his money that's going to waste, it's Ray's, but still, this is kind of like a Hail Mary for Ray, so it's kind of like his last chance, so. But what I liked about the whole Jackie thing, really quickly, is the fact is that what it came down to was a table tennis match, and Mickey kicked his ass, which was pretty good. And then it was like, Mickey was like, basically at Warpool, I was like the table tennis champ for like, didn't he say like 11 years running or something like that? And Jackie's like, you played me, huh? It's just kind of like, he's like, just take your damn jacket. It's just like, I just find that funny. I mean, because the whole thing is kind of showing you like, oh yeah, Mickey's out of the loop. He's like, oh yeah, Instagram. It's like, what the hell is Instagram? What's a handle? So he's like, you know what? Whatever. Hashtag MCM Man Crush Mondays. It's like, I can't help it. It's like, because he is the stereotypical millennial in my brain. I mean, granted, millennials going to go up to like, you know, anyone born in the 80s, but still, it still resonates, you know. It's just kind of like, you are the stereotypical millennial. You kind of give a bad name to us all, you know. That's my little gripe about it. Not seriously, but it's just something I was just thinking like, oh, you're such a tool the entire time. Anyway, moving on. I spent too much time complaining about that. But then it's like, okay, the bet is set. There was once again the pessimist inside of me. It's like, is he going to screw you over? Is Sugar going to screw you over? Because I was kind of expecting it at some point. It's like, is Sugar going to screw you over? It's like you kind of find this new girl that you're kind of crushing on, and it's like, oh, she's going to screw you over. Oh, please don't screw him over. But it's like, no, everything seems like it's going okay. I mean, and when everything plays out, it's like, hey, you get Avi back. Yay. Hey, Ray's about to take him to the hospital, and lo and behold, again, I don't know why that's kind of why I'm saying that over and over again now. But Frank shows up and arrest Ray, because what apparently happened was Nolan, because once again I'm just going to refer to him as that, ended up ratting out Sonia too, and Frank and such the FBI called Interpol, tracked her down, and brought her back. She basically spilled the beans. So basically, Ray is screwed now because there's no deal on the table for him anymore. Because originally the deal was like, okay, you help us take down Dimitri. Okay, you kind of walk away. We get witness protection for you and your family. But now, like, Sonya's kind of confessed to everything. Like, Sonya is their kind of, like, key to getting towards Dimitri. I mean, granted, what I'm seeing go down is Frank is willing to give Ray a chance. He's like, you're already close to Dimitri, because it's not going to be easy for Sonya to get close to him. Even though they're family, Dimitri will kill her the moment she pops up on his radar again. Like, I hope that doesn't happen, but that could easily happen. Is like, it does happen that she is on Dimitri's radar. Dimitri's like, oh, she's back, and kills her when she's in like FBI custody or something, or has her killed or whatever. And it comes down to Ray, like, because even Mickey brought it up, was like, Ray, like, I know Frank arrested you. Tell him. I know you don't want to be a snitch or whatever. But he's like, when it came down to me, when I stole all of Sully's money and I ratted him out, it worked out for the best for me because the FBI looked out for me. And now I'm still, like, I might be a little rough for wear, but I'm still standing. And where Sully and everyone else is connected to him, everyone I screwed over back in the day, they're in the dirt. So it's kind of like, yeah, but Ray is kind of like, no, I'm not going to snitch like that. I'm not going to rat anyone out. Like, to me, that's because of his I guess a combination of many things. His upbringing, are just around Mickey in general, but also Ezra, because they kind of built their whole business model on not ratting people out. It's like, I mean, granted, we'll blackmail you, yeah, and extort you, but we won't, like, rat you out. That's just that, or it's just kind of some pride that Ray has. It's like, to me, it's like, at this point in time, you have to put that aside and just be like, no, I have to rat him out for the sake of your family. Like, I guess it's because Ray doesn't want to feel like, because he knows that if he turns on Dimitri, I guess because it could easily go bad, because it's like, oh, even if he turns on Dimitri, they still don't get him, and Dimitri comes and wipes out Ray's family anyway. Even more so just to prove a point, like, you screw me over, I screw you over twice as hard. Essentially, that plus is just, it would basically ruin Ray's reputation. He'd never be able to do the work he does anymore. Everyone would kind of cast him aside, and he'd kind of lose the life he's built for himself. But it's like, if you don't do it, you're going to lose the life you've built for yourself, including the lives of you and your family, like, because you're going to be wiped off the map, essentially. So it's like, I see it both ways, but I'm still leaning towards Mick saying, like, yo, like, confess. But like I said, Sonya's return kind of screws him out of that situation, so he can't even turn against Dimitri. But like I said, next episode, I get the feeling like things are going to lean more towards his favor. Like I said, I feel like Frank is going to give him a shot, because it's like, you are the closest thing to Dimitri. So, I mean, I don't know, we'll have to see. But on other things, other things I liked in this episode was, like, Lena, like, kind of bringing up the fact is that she had a dream about Avi, didn't know who she was walking past all the stars, in Hollywood, and ended up stopping at Marilyn Monroe's and laughing or something like that. It's just kind of like, it's very sweet when you see, like, how, like, it shows you how much she cares about Avi, like, because they have kind of that brother-sister relationship. It seemed like, they're just kind of like, whatever towards each other, but it's like, I mean, obviously, she's been, like, worried this entire time. It's like, because even she's like, I don't know about this, Ray, like, this could easily go bad, and just, Ray's like, we don't have a choice in the matter, so. And then on the other side of things, other kind of smaller things throughout the episode, we have Damien working with Hector. He's like, basically, you're going to be kind of the runt of the group. You're going to do some menial chores and stuff like that, but every once in a while you get to stand up near the champ and kind of gain some attention for yourself. You might get in some rounds and stuff like that. And basically the same offer was given to Daryl, but Daryl's like, yo, what the hell you mean? Like, get me the same job as a kid? Like, I should be on even footing with Hector. I should be like, yo, his sparring partner or something. Like, give me a better job. Don't give me, like, this job for it. Like, it's fine for the kid. He's a kid, but me, I'm a full-grown man. Don't treat me like that. So, I guess feeling like a little disrespect, because it's like, yo, I handle myself as a boxer, so. And surprise, surprise, like, something I brought up way earlier was the fact is, remember that boxer he kind of beat up? Well, at least, like, he put on brass knuckles and beat him, like, gashed his eyes so he couldn't see, so he couldn't fight, so Hector could be back into it, like, back in the rotation. So I was like, I'm surprised that hasn't come back to bite Daryl in the ass yet. I mean, maybe in the future. I don't know, because it's just, to me, like, kind of suffering no consequences for that. That's very interesting. And then so on those lines, you have Terry lying about the whole thing with Hector, like them being each other's alibi, being like, "Oh yeah, we were here sparring all night." Hector saying like, "Oh yeah, I haven't talked to Marisol since she got arrested. Burning the suitcase and stuff at the gym." And the last thing she sent me was that text, blah 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 blah. And then Terry's like, "Wait, what did they tell you about?" I was like, "Oh, the fact is they found her body in a river." And then that clicked in Terry's mind. He even brought it to Ray. He's like, "The fact of the matter, she accidentally died. Like, why'd you dispose of her body? You didn't. You turned, like, it was an accident, and you turned it into something dirty." And Ray's like, "Don't ask questions that you don't want the answer to." Because he is still, because I was wondering that, because I was recently, I rewatched like last episode, well, parts of it yesterday or something, and I was like, I was trying to understand, it's like, did it ever click into Terry's mind, oh, this wasn't an accident? Like, or, did he still think it was an accident? And it's like, yeah, like this episode confirmed that he still thought it was an accident. It's like, so maybe after Ray tells him that, maybe in the back of his mind, he's starting to realize there's more to it than that, or maybe not, or maybe he's just like, that's my brother just doing his job. It's like, doing something he didn't need to do. It's like, because even he even told Hector, don't tell Terry about this whole like betting situation, like that you're going to take the fall. Because basically Terry's kind of writing his entire future on this match. Like Hector, like being connected to Team Campos and just, kind of putting the gym on the map and stuff like that. So kind of, as he kind of puts it later on in the episode, all they have is now, focus on what you really have now. I mean, and then he proceeds to kind of like, I don't know, like his body kind of stiffens up and like Daryl helps him a little bit, but it seems like whatever's happening with him is getting worse. So, I mean, things could be expediting inside of his body very quickly. I mean, because they've never really, maybe they haven't, I just don't remember, but they've never really put a timetable on like Terry's whole situation. At least I don't think. And speaking of his situation, kind of brings you back to Abby's situation, because she's kind of freaking out a little bit, because like her doctor called her. She tried to call her doctor back, but her doctor was in surgery or whatever, and it's kind of freaking Abby out, because she's like, I feel like something's not right in me. I feel like weird. She's like, she's regretting not taking the surgery option now. Like, now she's like, maybe it was the wrong choice. And then Ray's telling her, but, basically, what can he do for her? And she's like, there's nothing you can do. We just have to wait. That's all we can do. It's not everything. It's out of our hands now. And it's kind of a shame that she kind of feels like that. Like I said, it's always like the most messed up. Like she has to go through this while also dealing with this whole situation with the family and the Russians. It's just, it's so much. It's sad that so much has to be stacked on her plate like that. But just goes to show you just how fucked up the world can be, essentially. That even when you already have plenty of shit on your plate, is like life can slap even more shit on your plate just to kind of screw you over. So, which this whole situation got her thinking. She's like, here's from Bunchy and Teresa that they're going to leave, and then like she's like, take Connor and Bridget with you. And Teresa's like, yeah, you looked after Maria. The least we can do is look after your kids during this whole situation. But you have Connor being like, you know what? No, F Dad. I'm staying. Like, I'm going to help Dad. And then Bridget's like, help Dad do what? You're an idiot. But, it took Ray kind of talking to him, be like, be there with your sister, protect your sister. He's like, look at me. Do you not think I miss my sister every day? Like, not wishing I could go back, that I could have done something more for her, but I couldn't. And I kind of have to live with that. And I don't want you to have to live through that. Like, it's like, I love you and I want you, you're more needed there to make sure your sister's okay. And he just kind of nods and accepts it. So, I don't know, man. It's going to be a crazy episode next week. Because next week is the season finale. I actually kind of brought this up a couple episodes back because in my mind I was thinking Ray Donovan had 10 episodes for some reason. I think it's because in my mind I was thinking some other show, and so I was thinking like, oh, the season finale is like episode 9. The season finale is like next week, and then afterwards I was like, oh no, it wasn't. I forgot there's 12 episodes per season. You wouldn't know that because I cut it out just because I want to make myself look cool. But now I'm confessing it because I don't care. But nevertheless, the season finale is right around the corner. I cannot wait to see how this whole situation turns about. I know. I mean, I feel it in my heart. I'm hoping that things do work out. I mean, you just halfway expect the hat to drop at any moment. I mean, granted, I was scared during that whole Avi situation. Like, oh, Avi's back and everything, but it's like literally every time I was like, don't tell me Dimitri's just going to set a point and shoot him right now. It's like, okay, he didn't. Okay, even when they were driving, it was like, please don't let some random, like, somebody driving a car rush up or hit their car. Okay, they didn't. Like, don't tell me there's someone nearby with a gun and is about to shoot them when they stop or something. Okay, it did. I know, like, because I automatically assume the worst. Is kind of like, Avi's been beaten down and he's kind of broken a little bit, and it's just like I don't want to see him kind of be beaten down anymore, especially because his mom had that call earlier with Ray asking where he was, and Ray's like, oh, he's doing some work for me. She's like, well, tell him I'm recording, what was it, Dancing with the Stars or something like that. It's just kind of like, the fact is they threw that in there made me think about it even more. It's like, oh god, Avi's not going to come out of this alive, is he? So for now he is, but like I said, don't know what could happen down in the season finale. I'm so eager to find out how everything turns out. But that's really all I want to talk about in this episode. I've been rambling on and on and on. Till the next time we meet, be happy, be safe, live life to the fullest, and enjoy it. Good day and goodbye.